As of January this year, a unit without a working stove or refrigerator is legally uninhabitable in California. Most 20 to 100 unit owners, well, they just renewed right past it. And if you're one of them, you're sitting in a compliance gap. That could potentially cost you tens of thousands of dollars. That is in withheld rent and stalled evictions before you even realize what even happened. Hi, my name is Rodrell. I'm with Rental Lords California. Like you, I'm in Central Contra Costa, and this isn't a Zillow pitch. This is a legal blind spot that just hits your renewal pile, and I want to walk you through it. I want to make sure that you avoid these pitfalls.
Messed up?
The renewal is simple, but it's real. California expanded its habitability standard in 2025. This has gone live since January 1st, I believe. Any lease you enter, amend, extend, thereafter, January, it's included. You're going to have your working stove, your refrigerator provided, and it's going to be provided by you, the landlord, not the tenant, not at a cost share. You own it. You have to make sure it works, period. Most of you guys are running 40, 60, 80 doors with renewals flowing through all of the year. You sign dozens of them, and you're not even thinking about appliance compliance. You're thinking about whether the tenant pays on time, whether you can get legal, so you can legally raise the rents, and that's all reasonable and good and well. But here's the thing. This change isn't a one-time check the box. It's embedded in the renewal itself. Touch the lease, raise the rents, change a term. You've triggered this new standard. The clock is running, the stove, the refrigerator, all of this has to be working, documented, and there before that person gets into the doors, before the lease goes live. If the items are not there, you've created a habitability failure. That's not a code violation that just sits quietly in the background. It's something that's legal, that you have to take account for. That's a legal door you opened when the tenant walks through the property. Rent withholding, repair-and-deduct, a weaker footing on any just cause notice under the SB 567, your eviction timeline stretches. Your cash flow stops and the leverage you had is evaporated. Let's put a number on it, okay? A 40 unit building with a year-round renewal activity. Say 30 units turn over and renew in a year. You sign the renewals, 4 of them are missing a working stove or a refrigerator. The tenant moves in and realizes it, documents it, withholds the rent. 1 unit, 4 months, 2 units, 6 months. I mean, that's 24 units of unpaid rent right there. While you figure out whether you can legally lock them out. You can't. Not cleanly, at least. Not until you fix the habitability failure. And add legal costs to this. Lost time, management burdens, there's a lot. A $400 fridge turns into a $1,200 problem. And a blocked cash flow. That's just one building. And that's why it hits the 20 to 100 units self-managed the hardest. You don't have compliance department. You don't have a template checklist of every renewal. You're doing this manually. You're doing it yourself. The property is managed doing 30 leases a year, not legally reviewed, just getting signatures and keys over to tenants. The bigger operators will dedicate counsels, and they will see this coming. Like the management team, they're on it. They already updated their renewal workflows. The medium-sized owners, like most of you guys are, still catching up. And that's a gap cost that you have. Here's what you need to do. And this isn't compliance. First, before you renew, run an appliance audit on that unit. We're just making sure that things work. We're checking the stove, we're turning on burners, checking the fridge. We're just trying to make sure that when you open the fridge, it's cold and not lukewarm. Take it seriously, write it down and see if it's not there, if it's not working. If you need to fix it before the tenant moves in, do so and do it quick. Do not sign a renewal hoping you'll catch it later. You probably won't. The tenant likely will. Second, document the working conditions with photos, notes, timestamps. I know the language around the AB 2801 documentation, and the standards are the same here. Photo of the stove working, photo of the refrigerator running and cold. Like, take a picture of the thermometer or thermostat. Date stamps, file names. Keep it with the lease file. Make sure all of this put together. When your tenant later comes and finds that the fridge doesn't work, you have a paper trail. You don't have to hope or wish upon a star. You're not writing a ticket in the dark. You're responding with evidence. The changes, the tone, the conversation, timing, anything. You have paper trail. Number 3, you're standardized in an appliance addendum to the renewal template. It's a one-pager, okay? It identifies the stove, the stove, the refrigerator, that they're in working condition and on the move-in day, so that there's no confusion what working is. The tenant signs off, landlord signs off. It's not ironclad, but it shifts the baseline. Everybody's on the same page at that point in time. It shows that you thought about this. It shows that you documented it, that you thought about the habitability dispute. And the landlord who documents is the landlord with leverage. The landlord who didn't is explaining why they didn't in front of a judge. That's not you. So let's keep that tone. Do this for every single renewal. I don't care if it feels repetitive, because it's not. It's your building. You're defending yourself. You're using your records across your entire portfolio as your safe haven, as your good night's rest. When one tenant later claims that the stove wasn't functioning, that you already have 40 units to track, this isn't something you want to have as a matter, because you have it documented. And here's what makes this even more critical. Habitability is the floor that every compliance rule stands on. You can't enforce late fees on a tenant in the uninhabitable unit. Your just cause notice gets weaker. Your eviction timeline stretches. Habitability does not sit alone in the code. It sits on the foundation of your ability to manage the property and enforce the lease. Break it, and everything else gets much harder. The good news is that fixing this is cheap. A stove or refrigerator costs up between $300 and $800. Depending on what you buy, the documentation costs virtually nothing. The template costs virtually nothing. What costs money is doing nothing and letting this slide into your renewal unsigned, unchecked, because that's when you're not managing risks, you're absorbing it. I see owners every quarter who think this is one-time problems. It's not. You've got a year of backed renewals that may have missed this standard. You've got a year ahead of renewals where every single one is now covered. And you've got a compliance layer that didn't exist in 2025, but that now does. That doesn't go away. It compounds. These problems get heavier. This is exactly the kind of things that rental California rental lords handles. We're not here to replace Zillow and handle lease marketing. We're not here to be your compliance layer. We know that there are changes and that there will continue to be change. This change is in 2026, and we know that what changed in 2024 with SB 567 was drastic as well. We know what tenants are going to use against you and what documents you need to keep to make sure that you defend against this kind of stuff. That's the value. That's the reason you call us. Here, for right now, grab the 2026 renewal compliance checklist. It's in the description. You can print it, run it through your portfolio, check the renewals you've signed like since January. Check the stove and refrigerator and make sure that they are working. Document the ones that are not. Fix them this month, not like later, not next month. Because the longer the gap sits, the bigger exposure, the more expensive this will become for yourself. Now, habitability is foundational. Everything will rest on it, and if you get this right, you'll be thankful for it. The rest of compliance is all strategy, and it sits on solid ground. Miss it in your building is on sand. I've seen it happen too many times this year alone. Don't be the one owner who learned this lesson for rent withholding notices. Now that's it. So go get the checklist, run it through audit your properties, your portfolio, document them, standardize it, move on knowing that you're closer to getting more doors with more defensive strategies in your pipeline. If you got questions, message us. We'll get straight to it.